Now there's my boy too, Noah. Noah, come on up here. Give him a hand. Noah, I think when you were born, I know this is probably not the right words, this is probably not the right picture, but when you were born, it was like you were born with a lampshade on your head. I mean, you were just like, you were the life of the Brooke party from day one. You came out kicking and screaming and woohoo, it's a party because Noah is here. Child, your father loves your presence and he loves your personality. Before you could even talk, you were funny. We called you our little potato head, Mr. Potato Head. I mean, it was just, you had that little blonde hair going on. But even when the doctors, though, they came to us and they warned us that you would likely never be able to talk understandably. And I knew how big a deal that was because I love talking and people love talking and that's how they have a lot in their relationship. And we just went to praying, but also I just loved how you just joyfully, as a toddler, you just kind of bounded into life and you lived it anyway. But in that time, your body language strengthened to make up for your lack in speech, your vocal intonations, your facial expressions. It all strengthened so much. And then what was cool was, and it like made up for the lack in speech. But then what ended up happening was over the years of your hard work and then also just, I think, prayers, your doctors actually then signed you off as, he's totally good. Language he's got it mastered. He talks totally normally. He talks better than his dad. And that made me so proud that you went about life and you got a challenge and you just went at it. And you overcame your challenge. And I just think but then what was cool was through that challenge, all of those other things had improved. It made you this person of just increased and heightened presence and personality from early on. Your teachers would always say, "Oh, Noah, you're the parents of Noah. We just love Noah. He's fabulous." And or your friends, you would always have just friends just flocking around you all the time. You're always making us laugh, and you're the fun brother, you know. You were just a good guy from early on. And you're just a cool guy to be around. So when you then, as such a cool presence, you come to me and you say, "Hey, Dad, you want to go hunting? Hey, Dad, you want to go to a movie? Hey, Dad, you want to go to the Jags game? Hey, Dad, let's get in the car and let me drive." You know? Yeah. Spending time, that you would want to spend time with me, it makes my brain just go, "I love it." That was embarrassing. I'm sorry, son. Not a lot that can embarrass this guy, but I can. And you know what? We don't even have to talk for me just to enjoy our time together. I mean, sometimes we just say, "Hey, let's get in the car and let's just crank up the radio," and then we're just singing at the top of our lungs and we're laughing and we're dancing and stuff in the car and then we start cracking up hilariously when we look over and the people in the car next to us caught us in our dance and in our song and remember that? Yeah, that was, yeah. So, but Noah, your name just reminds me of Noah, who was a righteous man. He tried to do good and he tried to do right in his world. And he was blameless among the people of his time. And he was good and he was right because I think he just walked on going faithfully with God. Faithfully with God. He spent time with God. He listened to God. He built an ark with God. He raised his family with God. God was a part of his everyday life. Noah, I just love being with you. I love your presence. I love your personality. And children of God, child of God, your Father loves your personality and your presence too. Out of the whole Bible, no one left more prayers in print than David did. The Psalms are one prayer after another, and they're filled with presence and personality. He's upset, he's angry, he's sad, he's depressed, he's melancholy, he's melodramatic, he's happy, he's joyful, he's spiteful, and sometimes all in the same psalm. And David described his 24/7 day like this. He said, "By day the Lord directs his love toward me. I can just feel it. At night his song is with me. I just hear it. A prayer to the God of my life, my whole life, my day, my night, my light, my dark. It's all a prayer, an ongoing conversation with God, my Father, who can take every bit of my personality and my presence." And if anybody had a personality and presence, it was David. Much of our communication with our kids and our kids with us is spoken silently and just time spent together. And the same goes with God. Paul tells us that God's will for our days now are pretty simple too. Hey, rejoice a lot. Pray continually in your thoughts and your words and in your presence. Keep an ongoing conversation going with God all day long. And give thanks in all circumstances, or even in spite of circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. David and Paul are just reminding us that part of the essence and the joy of prayer is just that it's time together throughout our day. David and Paul, I just think about it. I often wake up with worries. You might know what that feels like. So I found an early walk with my dad is just good, and it seems to just make things better. During my day, I imagine him with me throughout my day, a part of my every activity, sharing occasional words together and humorous observations. And did you see that, God? And thank yous and what's going on here kind of things. And I've learned also that God can handle my moods. God enjoys hearing from me and being with me no matter how I'm feeling. If I'm up, if I'm down, if I'm turned around, he loves me. And sometimes I've forgotten to talk with him in a while. And in the past, I've allowed the guilt of that to keep me from praying again. But over time, I've learned that that's not how dads operate. They don't sit around and go, "You want to talk with me? No, you shall not. Because you did not yesterday, nor the day before, nor the week before, nor the month or the year before. So we shall not talk now." Right? No, dads don't do that. They're like, "You're going to talk to me, really? Oh, I'll take it." You know? So, anytime. He wants to, the Father enjoys any time that I spend with him. I used to discourage myself and others from reading their Bible or praying at night because you might fall asleep. Well, when I had kids and I learned what a treasure those rare moments are when my child would fall asleep in my arms or later in their bed while they were talking or they were praying or they were reading stories, and how precious those moments were. Like, "Honey, get the camera. We got to capture this. It's so cute." It made me stop thinking that way. Go ahead, fall asleep in your dad's arms at night. Sometimes I will just pull out the recliner and a blanket and a Bible and pray with the hopes of just falling asleep in my dad's presence. Prayer is just time together throughout your day. Noah, and all of you children of God, always remember that God enjoys your presence. He enjoys your personality. And any time that you spend together with him delights him. Spend time with God throughout your day, any day, every day. Your prayer life and just your life itself will be richer and deeper and much more fulfilling.